Hey, Platinum Fox here, you can call me Plat, and today I am out of this world excited to bring you a mod showcase of Galacticraft 4. It is out, it is here, and it is awesome. It is for Minecraft 1.8.9, 1.10.2, and 1.11.2. I'm super happy they updated. It's just absolutely amazing. This showcase is going to cover everything in Galacticraft 4 only, so anything in the previous versions of Galacticraft, I'm not really going to cover because there is a ton that was added in Galacticraft 4. To get to the new planet that was added, Venus, you're going to need this rocket, the Tier 3. That's what it looks like for those of you that don't know. But basically, I'm going to cover every recipe that you're going to have to know about Galacticraft 4, and then we'll head out into space and I'll talk about stuff out there. So some of this stuff has functionality on other planets or in space or can be found out there, but I'm just going to bring out the recipe or talk about how to get it here, so it's just all here in one place for your convenience. So we're going to start over here, and this is the switchable aluminum wire. Now, this is simply crafted with a redstone repeater and a regular aluminum wire, and what it does is it has a nice little red texture, and you just turn it on and off. So these are normal aluminum wires, and you can see it's not connected, so it's off mode right now, and you just use a redstone signal to do so. And for those of us that are a little bit bigger, it comes in plus sizes. So this is the heavy-duty version, the heavy-duty aluminum switchable wire, and the same functionality as the little one. You just use a switch and turn it on and off, and wiring just got a whole lot easier. Now, this is the recipe from the other Galacticraft versions, and it is previously known as the oxygen pipe, but they kept the same recipe and they turned it into the fluid pipe. So it's new, and because they did that, they also added tanks to the game. So this is a tank, this is the recipe. It's just 6 stained glass pane, I'm sorry, not stained glass panes, just 6 regular glass panes in this fashion, and then you get a tank. Now with the tanks, you can connect them with the fluid pipe. The fluid pipe is also able to use for air, so it could still be used for oxygen and stuff like that. So don't worry about that, even though it's called the fluid pipe. But with this, when you have water in a tank, which each tank holds 16 buckets, you need to just take a wrench and muster up all the plumbing skills you can and click on it to just start moving liquids around. So I clicked on it and the liquids are moving to the other tank. And to move them back, you would click on it again, but oops, this is still blocked because it is going this direction. So now you want to just click on that and it'll be open and safe passage for whatever liquid you're trying to transport. So that's basically the tanks. Next we have the communications dish, and I love this block slash entity item, whatever you can call it. You'll see why I said that in a second. But to make it, you just need a frequency module, 3 compressed aluminum, an iron block, and 2 advanced wafers. And let's grab one of these for us right now, and I will stick it right there. And oh man, look at that thing. That's what you need to get great TV signals, am I right? So it is just a massive satellite dish, and it looks absolutely amazing. I love it. And I don't know if it doesn't have any wiring hooks or anything on it anywhere, so I think right now it's just a decoration block. Let's click on it. I've never tried that before, but I think it's just a decoration block, and I don't know if it'll have any functionality in the future, but it's just amazing as it is right now. So let's move on to the next bit. This is hidden redstone wire. This is basically a redstone wire right here. This block. I know it doesn't look like it, but that's why it's called hidden. It's just 4 tin walls and a redstone in the middle, and you have a hidden redstone wall. And you also can do the same thing for hidden redstone repeater, and it's just 2 tin walls and a redstone repeater. Now I'm going to show you what these things can do. So we're going to walk into this little room, and these are the redstone wires. So I'm going to turn them on, and they go through and they turn this on. They turn on the lamp. But they do, even though they're a block, they only travel like regular redstone dust does. They do not travel vertically. That is why that one's up there, to show you that they don't travel vertically. So this is the repeater, and I'm going to turn it on, and it is directional. So I will face this way, and I will grab one of these and one of those, and you have to shift click if you want to put the lever on the actual block, but I'm gonna click it and it's directional. Now if I put this one here, it's not gonna do it because it acts just like a regular repeater does. So and it can delay ticks. So right now it's on the regular default tick. So I will click it twice and you'll see the delay for 2-tick delay, and see it more when I turn it off. There you go, and then full delay, and then you turn it back to regular. And again, because it's a block, even though it looks like a block, it's still a regular repeater, and you cannot have the signal go upwards. Now this is a player detector. It is creative only, and it's hidden and looks like those too. And it emits a redstone signal when the player is not near it. So I'm gonna fly up here and see I'm probably like 10 or so blocks above it, and it lit up, and I'm gonna land on the floor, and once I hit the floor it'll update and shut off. On the X and Z axis, I believe you need to be right around 15, 13-ish blocks away for it to turn on, or like when it first turns off to detect you. It's right around there. I've tested a couple times and it's been different like every time, but yeah, you need to be about 13 blocks away. So getting back into it, this is a new item, and it is the pre-launch checklist, and it's simply crafted with some canvas and red dye. And what it is, it's a book that you can craft to help you in your space exploration. So you have Venus, which is the new awesome planet that they added in Galacticraft 4, and if you checkmark it, it checkmarks everything under it, all the subheadings, or you can check them off individually as you get them, and then check it off finally once you have everything. But it tells you what you're going to need for each planet, or to live on each planet. It also has the overworld space station, so oxygen suit, grappling hook, Mars, and the asteroid belt, and is that overworld again? Oh, it's just the overworld, not the space station. But yeah, a really handy book, especially for beginners to Galacticraft. Really nice. So yeah, that's the book. Now this thing is the magnetic crafting table, and it is awesome. It's just crafted with some compressed iron and a crafting table, and it can be placed, well, normally, obviously, but it can be placed on sideways and any way you're basically facing. It's super cool. It has an awesome gray color, and it holds items. So I'm gonna put this oxygen mask in there, and it doesn't pop out once I do it. And the best part is once you have a recipe in there, it remembers the very last recipe crafted, so you can automate it. So I'll do a little demonstration here. So this is something just simple I threw together. I did test it. It does work with more advanced stuff. I think I did it with a terraformer when I tested it. But this is just an iron block. So I'm going to click it, and now I have crafted an iron block. So this now remembers the last thing I crafted, which is the iron block. So now this is full of iron, and when I turn it on, when I unlock the hopper, it should start filling it up, and once it reaches all the crafting slots filled, it will filter down into here in the chest. So you can now simply automate with a crafting table, and it's really nice. I love this addition. Next we have the vacuum glass. Now the vacuum glass is fancy glass for space, basically, and I love it. This is probably my second favorite. My first favorite is best for last down there. But so the craft this version is aluminum ingots and glass, just like so, and you will get it, and it will look like this. And then to get the gray variant, which I personally like a little bit better, just because it looks spacey, you use this. You take the clear white vacuum glass, this one, and you put it with 4 tin walls in the same fashion, but instead of aluminum ingots, it's tin walls, and you get the dark gray clear version. Now there's also the version you make with tin, same recipe, it's just tin ingots instead of aluminum. And you get the etched glass, the glass with glare, not sure how to put it, but there's that variant. And using the white walled version, you put it in configuration like this with tin walls again instead of an ingot, and you get the gray version. And if you don't want them connecting like this, you can just alternate them in any way you want. So you can alternate any way you want and they won't connect, but I think they look amazing connected, and that's how they were probably intended to be used. And then my last and my favorite version of these is the one where the glass is white, stained white. And to do this version, it's just glass and compressed aluminum. And then same thing, you take the old white one, the first one you make, put it in the cross form, and then just add the tin walls, and you get the dark gray version. Now these next few blocks are light sources, and they are super cool. Like, mind blown when I found out what these could do. So this is the squared panel version, and then there's dots and stripes, and stripes, and then strips. I got those backwards. And then this is the crafting recipe, just some glass panes, compressed steel, and a glowstone torch. And the functionality of all of these is basically the same, but this is what it looks like default when you make it. So if you like it, you just gotta place it down. If you shift on any block, it will take on that block texture, and it is so cool. So I'm shifting, and then I'm not gonna shift right now, and I can place it anywhere I want. So I'm gonna shift again on this one. Oops, it doesn't work for lights. You have to click the actual source block. So I'm not shifting right now, and I can place all these gold panels. I love these new blocks. These are absolutely just amazing. And it works for all of these, so it even works on sponge. It does not work on slime or glass, and I think that's due to that they're semi see-through or completely see-through, which is completely understandable. But the dotted version is just 4 glass panels and red glowstone torch and compressed steel. The recipe for all these is basically similar. So for the strip, it's 6 glass panels on the sides, leave the top one blank, glowstone torch, and compressed steel the bottom. And then for this one, it is just two simple little panels, glowstone torch, and compressed steel. And I'm going to take this block, and it even works on machines, which I think is great. And to show that with the machines, it is orientation based, so if I push it face down, it will still look like this electric furnace, but the texture will be on the top. That actually looks really nice. I kind of want like a compressed steel block that just looks like this texture right here. That would be really cool. Yeah, it works on any block, and it's just amazing. And then the last one is the little bit in the corner, and it's just little glass panels in the corner to represent those glowstone torch and steel. And also, by the way, these are all able to be rotated with the wrench in a lot of different ways. So if you place it down and you mess up and you don't want to remine it, or if it's not in the correct direction you want, you can simply just click it with the wrench and it will rotate. Now this next block is called the Chromatic Applicator, and this is the recipe. It is 1 compressed steel in the middle, and it is red dye, yellow dye, orange dye, lime dye, green dye, cyan, lapis, and magenta, and it has to be in that order. No other order, no other variants of dyes or mixing these dyes up will get you this. It must be in this specific order. Now the Chromatic Applicator does something really cool. What it does is you could take any block. So I'm going to take, out of the selection I just put in here, I'm going to take the pumpkin and the diamond. So what you do is you put a light panel in here, and you're supposed to be able to do it with the glass, the vacuum glass. I don't know if it'll change the color of the glass, or if it's supposed to change, like the white variants are supposed to change color, but at this point, it doesn't work. The wiki says it's supposed to interact somehow with this, but at this point I've tried it and it does nothing. But you put the light panel, or hopefully in the future the vacuum glass, in this slot, and then you put any block you want into this one. And this is your palette basically, and you click mix color and you get this faded orange. Well, if you click mix color again, you get more, and you just basically spam it until you want the color you want, or it'll eventually stop. But you can mix colors too, so let's see what we get with the diamond. And ooh, that's kind of a cool green. So I like this blue. Well, let's go a little bit darker again, and a little bit lighter. Okay, that's a nice greenish teal color. So then you just click apply paint, grab the block out, and if you want to reset it, you can. You just click reset color, and that's it. And now I have this in my hand, and whoops, it's still selected gold, but that's okay. It is now the color of whatever you put, and there's like probably millions of colors you can choose from with that awesome system. So yeah, colored light, it's really cool, and I love it. Now this next machine is the Geothermal Generator. It can only be used basically on Venus. I will show you the functionality later, but I want to get the recipe out of the way. It is 1 atmospheric valve, a coal generator, 2 aluminum wires, and 4 compressed bronze, and 1 lead ingot. That's also another item we will get to on Venus. And this is what it looks like, and I will explain the functionality once we get to Venus, hopefully pretty soon. And speaking of Venus, it's very hot, so you need to keep your body cool with the very new Tier 2 thermal padding armor. It's just some 2 Tier 1 thermal padding armor and a dash ingot, and that's how you make that. And this is all the pieces you can wear. This is the atomic battery.
Atomic batteries to power.
And I just want to do a size comparison here. This is a normal battery. That's a normal battery size, and it is atomic, but more because it's huge compared to the last battery. It is huge. So this is the atomic battery, and it is crafted with 8 lead ingots and 1 radioisotope core. I clicked on that. I wanted to make sure I got that right. 1 radioisotope core, which you can get on Venus. So these are a bunch of assorted items that do different things in the game, and I'll get to the blocks in a second. But the items are the radioisotope core, which is found on Venus. I'll talk about it more when we get there. The volcanic pickaxe, which mines a 3x3 area, similar to like a Tinker's Construct hammer, but you know, who needs Tinker's Construct anymore once you have the volcanic awesome looking pickaxe. So the next one is a shield controller, and I will definitely talk. This is really cool, and I can't wait to talk about it once we get to Venus. This Galacticraft 4 also adds an infinite supply of oxygen, which is creative mode only. It's kind of self-explanatory. You just put it on your back and you have air forever. This is creative only as well. It is a dungeon compass. When you are on the moon, Mars, Venus, wherever has a dungeon, it will point to the closest one to you. This is a lunar sapphire, and it is found on the moon, and you can now trade with moon villagers, which is really awesome, because in 1.7 it was, I mean, you found moon villagers and it was cool, but they were just there. Now that you could trade with them, it's really cool. This item is currently, at this version I have right now at the time of recording, not in the game. It will be. It's in the wiki. It's in the Galacticraft wiki. It is a strange seed. I'm guessing this is it fully grown, and that's the strange seed. But right now, it's just they're both listed as strange seed. But they are supposedly found on a new structure. I will be showing you in a bit. Yeah. So there. I don't know what they do. I don't know anything about these at this time. But they will be in the game at some point. Now, these blocks are listed on the wiki, these machine blocks, are listed on the wiki as blocks that have the new feature where you can, if you shift click with a wrench, and I'll switch to, these all work according to the wiki, and I think future machines are planned, but because that one's GUI appears, I'll just move to this one because I know it works without the GUI appearing when you click on it. So with the wrench, you, instead of clicking on it normally, which just rotates it, if you shift click, look, that panel just got blank, and this one stayed green. So if I click on it again, that one's blank, and this one's green. That's because you can now, I'm going to rotate it, you can now change where you want stuff, the input-output powers to be, and it also works with fluid pipes, so the wiki says. But so now you can configure where you want your input outputs to be, which is really cool and a space saver, and probably can make things look a whole lot cleaner. And the last block I'm going to show you is a new decoration block. It has no crafting recipe, you have to obtain it. Again, I'll show you how to obtain it once we get into space. It is just called a dark decoration block, and it is just a really nice black, dark gray variant that's just has probably tons of uses, and it's great. Alrighty, that about sums it up for every survival item and creative only item in Galacticraft 4. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching part 1 if you made it this long. Part 2 will be about other features it adds in space. I'll talk more about items in space and stuff, probably more so stuff along this wall once we get to Venus. But thank you for watching part 1. I will see you next time. Subscribe if you do so desire, and as always, gently tap that like button, and I will see you in part 2. Bye.